But now it's time to talk about the moment of the year so far in WWE. It is the main event angle. It is Jey Uso's choice. But let me get to something, Scott, that was absolutely positively egregious. So, a couple of weeks ago, we celebrate 1,000 days of Roman Reigns as undisputed WWE Universal Champion. To commemorate this occasion, Triple H is going to award Roman Reigns with a brand new, undisputed WWE Championship belt that I read on this show. Dare I say they might have changed this belt in the last couple of weeks and they gave that man a prototype belt. It looks better. It doesn't look as hideous. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, he's got a brand new belt. Let's retire the other two and be done with it, right? Oh no. We cut backstage on Friday Night Smackdown. Roman Reigns is so extra. He says, no, 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 no. I'm not one belt Roman. I'm not two belt Roman. I'm three belt Roman Reigns. These belts will go with me wherever I go. And Paul Heyman still has to carry these other championship belts. They're not going in the closet. They're not going in the vault. They're staying in the bloodline. And I love Roman's ass for being so damn extra.
That's great. What else would you expect? Someone as egotistical as this man who calls himself the literal tribal chief and the head of the table. Like he goes to towns and tells people to acknowledge him. I'm not surprised at all that he's like, yeah, I know you gave me this new belt, but you didn't ask for these other two, so I'll just keep carrying Paul will keep carrying these around.
I laughed my ass off when I saw those belts backstage. Like, Roman, you did not say, I won't keep these two. Egregious, but I love it. So throughout the night, we have Paul Heyman running around backstage trying to talk to Jey. Have you made up your mind yet? And Jey says, oh, you wait and see about it. But whatever I decide to do, if I stay, you're out, right? You know that, right? And Paul's worried and scared. And then Paul gives Roman some bad news. And Paul runs away and Solo's standing there stoically. And he wants to know what he needs to do. And Roman tells him to stand down for now. And before Jey makes his decision, it's Sami Zayn backstage sitting on the dock of the bay. And he's like watching Jey nodding, like, you know what you got to do. You know, you're going to make the right decision for yourself. So that leads to our main event angle of Roman Reigns telling the people to acknowledge him. And Jey comes out there for this moment. And Roman says, this is about your brother. He's holding you back. But let me tell you something. I know you want some demands being the future tribal chief and you want to get rid of the wise man, but he's not your wise man. He's my wise man. I picked him and he rolls with me. And until the day comes when you are the tribal chief, you could pick your own wise man. Until that day comes, Paul Heyman stays, and Paul is cheesing in the background, very happy about this development. But Roman goes back to saying, this really boils down to your brother, who doesn't have your best interests at heart, who never supports you, who doesn't really consider you the real right-hand man. He undervalues you, Jey. And that leads to Jimmy coming out to no music, and he's like, you're gonna listen to this garbage from our cousin. He's the one holding you back. He's the one lying to you. He's the one using you. You need to open your eyes and see what's really going on here, because Roman is not about that business. It's not about you being the tribal chief. It's a way to control you like he controlled me, like he's controlling us. And then Roman decides to drop some bars on Jimmy, saying he's the anchor holding you down. I'm the wings raising you up where he's trying to keep you down. I'm the one that positioned you as the right hand man. I'm the one that put you in the main event spot. I'm the one that had you main eventing WrestleManias after 10 years of being in this company. I'm the one that's made that happen for you, not him. And he was the one that didn't think that you could possibly be the right hand man. And Roman and Paul shared a look, and Paul co-signed on it. And Jey turned to Jimmy and asked him, is this true? And Jimmy was very shook by this revelation and noting that, yeah, it's true. And Jey couldn't believe it. He's like, I'd expect this from him, but not from you, not my blood brother, not my twin. You know, but it's not surprising because our entire lives, it was about you being better than me. You were the captain of the football team. You were the prom king. You were the one most likely to succeed. Joshua this, Joshua that. And I was the one in the background. But there was a blessing in disguise because when you got hurt, I stepped up. I became the right-hand man. I became main event Jey Uso. I main evented PLEs, pay-per-views, WrestleManias. I did that without you. And I did that because of him. And with that being said, he told his brother Jimmy that you're out. And the fans are like, oh shit. And then here comes the twist. And I'm out too. And he super kicks Roman and the fans erupt. This pop is incredible. And Paul Heyman is discombobulating. He's sliding out the ring, crying, taking the belts with him, by the way. Solo stun. Jimmy and Jey super kick Solo. Michael Cole is going ham on commentary as the bloodline crumbles. Roman Empires falls. And then Roman is just shook at this revelation that, wow, Jey picked his brother over me. He's apoplectic. He's just beating the mat with his hands. He's furious. And then they come through with the double super kick to knock out Roman. And Roman's sole job of this was incredible, laying out like a chalk outline on Law and Order as the Usos stand tall to wrap up the show. This was outstanding television. One of the best closing angles you will ever see on WWE programming. This storyline, 3 years in the making, layer on top of layer on top of layer. And we've had many chapters this year alone. Sami Zayn pulling the trigger first. Jimmy pulling the trigger last month at Night of Champions. And on SmackDown this past Friday, Jey finally being free from his cousin, finally being his own right-hand man by eliminating the problem, which is his cousin, which will lead to a bloodline civil war at Money in the Bank. It will be the Usos, Jimmy and Jey, against the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. Saw the poster on social media. I loved it. And this will be the main event, I presume, for Money in the Bank. Scott, your thoughts on this closing angle to Friday Night SmackDown?
Yeah, it was great. I heard your Otis Redding line. Love that guy. I think Roman was probably hoping that they would try a little tenderness, but I don't think that happened either. Listen, the angle was fantastic. I think I appreciate Sami still being included, still being a part of the story, still being the little angel on the shoulder. I appreciate Jey Uso still putting his name in the hat for an Emmy. I mean, let's not act like wrestling is not a TV show. It is a TV show. It should absolutely put that man up for an Emmy. Somebody give that man a chance at an Emmy. Put him up for the award because he's doing some fantastic work. Because I'm gonna tell you, excuse me, when he said, you out, because that whole build up to that, he sold me, because he was like, yo, I did so many things on my own that I always thought that you were supposed to do. You were the prom king. You were the most likely to be successful. Like, that's all you. But the tribal chief showed me that's me. He showed me I can do all that. I got to do all that because of him. And you could see it in Jimmy's face, like, damn, bro, this how you been feeling? Like, yeah, he ain't coming with me. And then he said, yo, you out. And it's like, damn. And when he said, and I'm out too, and you could hear it in his voice, and he laid that kick into him. And Solo's like, yo, what? Like, this has been years in the making. What a moment. What a kick. The double super kick that Roman took at the end from both the Usos. Like, we talk about this storyline and it being the best in wrestling. And I know sometimes people just think that we're just saying that, or WWE fans are just saying that, wrestling fans are just saying that. But look at what it's done, though. Not only has Roman Reigns become arguably, I don't even really think it's arguably, the biggest name in wrestling, the Usos, like, they are a legit main event act. They are one of the biggest names in WWE. And let's not forget what this has done for Solo Sikoa and how this has really jump-started him. Whenever this breaks off and he goes on his own, or Paul Heyman takes him and he becomes a Heyman guy that way, he's a made man. He's good to go as long as they don't do anything stupid. So this entire angle has been fantastic. Each chapter has built up. This had to have closed an inning. So we have to be, that had to have closed the fifth inning. I'm assuming we are in the sixth inning, the beginning at that Money in the Bank or next week. So I'm just assuming based on what Roman was saying. So sometimes you have long innings and sometimes you have those quick 1-2-3s. I think we've been in a couple of those 1-2-3s. That had to be the end of the fifth. But yeah, fantastic angle. I can't imagine Roman and Solo losing twice. So I think Roman and Solo end up winning that match.
It's very possible. And yeah, we're definitely top of the sixth inning now. It's a doubleheader and the game is ongoing. This is the longest game we've ever been a part of, but I love it. And this is truly one of WWE's greatest storylines in history. It is on par with Austin versus McMahon from the 90s, the height of the Attitude Era. This is on par with Batista's run towards the heavyweight championship way back when at WrestleMania 21. This storyline from beginning to where we are right now has been perfection. And I know there have been moments of fans being tired of the run. Can we have somebody beat Roman? I felt that way at WrestleMania with Cody. I'm not going to sit here and lie, but it's WWE and they know what they're doing. This is their money. This is the bread and butter. And a lot of us thought, well, this should culminate in Jey turning on his cousin. Maybe he is the one to dethrone Roman Reigns. I don't know, but it could be that moment that we've been waiting for. And yes, of course, we want that for Cody one day too. But the Bloodline has been the most compelling storyline in WWE for nearly 3 years. Every twist and turn has been outstanding. Edge of your seat drama. And the fans are captivated. They watch in droves. The viewership bumps up for Bloodline drama. WWE is a hot ticket, selling out buildings on Fridays, especially as of late. And I just think that this entire storyline will go down as one of the greatest that WWE has ever done. And I will give the old man his just due. He's no longer there day to day, but he laid the foundation for this and has been absolutely brilliant. And this will facilitate a Roman Reigns babyface run very, very soon that the fans do kind of want, and he'll be great at it. This has been built up beautifully. Now the paranoia really begins for Roman as to what's next for him as he tries to hold on to what power he has left with his 3 belts.
I saw something that I thought was really interesting. This whole thing, Roman Reigns they want him to be the ultimate babyface. Their end game is for him to be the huge babyface, the biggest babyface in the game. And what's interesting about this story is everyone has turned on Roman. Roman hasn't betrayed anybody, but everyone is betraying Roman Reigns. Whether it's, for their best interest or not, it's a different dynamic where normally it's the heel that's always doing the betraying, always doing the backstabbing, when really he's the one who's getting backstabbed. He's the one who's being infiltrated. Like Sami Zayn, he turned on him. Jimmy Uso turned on Roman Reigns. Jey Uso turned on Roman Reigns. Like, it's an interesting dynamic, and it's absolutely something that they're going to be able to, when the story calls for it, use as, because he's going to have to come back and apologize and probably come back like, yo, I my bad. Like, and it's going to have to be a serious thing. And him being turned on and getting to that rock bottom is going to play a huge part in that. So I just thought that's a very interesting dynamic of everyone betraying the heel in this situation and turning babyface, and them being able to turn babyface against him when the end goal is obviously to turn him into the ultimate babyface.